Well, it actually looks pretty nice, guys. Today I'm going to be going over the bike hand bike stand. Did a lot of research on these, both online as well as going and looking at some of my friends, even some that bike shops have. And I'm going to go over this nice little piece that I picked up off of Amazon here about a week ago. So far it's been pretty neat. I'm going to show you everything I do like about it, everything I don't like about it, and ultimately what are all of the features that you get on the bike hand bike stand. It's kind of fun to say. Let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out just how heavy this guy is. It's actually not bad. It's pretty darn light. It's not too heavy by any means, and that's really what I wanted. I wanted something I could take up to the bike park without having to lug a big heavy stand around. So let's see, what does this guy actually weigh? Right at about, well, somewhere between the 9 and 10 pounds. It's not bad. It's pretty lightweight. It's definitely portable, not easy to, or not too hard to lug around. So far so good. So right out of the box, first thing I did, of course, was throw some stickers on it, because of course I'm that guy, right? Love the stickers. The clamp here at the top, you do want to go ahead and release this. You can just kind of move the leg out of the way, but that's what keeps this little apparatus from sliding back and forth on here. From here, all you have to do is just extend these legs out. Once you do have the legs extended out, you do want to reclamp that back down so they don't fold on you. Next thing you do is just simply set this guy onto the ground. So looking at the foot base, now that we got her set on the ground here, it's about 42 inches across. You will also notice that there is a bit of an angle to the top tube here, the part that goes up. Of course, that's so that you can center the bike over that triangle. And honestly, guys, I know that the ones that have 4 legs on them are a bit more stable than even this particular style, but I wanted something that I could potentially put up against a wall. So the next thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and get the bike head up here. So you're going to want to release this quick clamp, make sure that that guy's good and loose, and then there's actually a lever right here that releases this mechanism, allows you to then bring it up, lock it into place. Once you have that in place, go ahead and clamp this guy down. That really just holds it in really 2 different ways. Obviously a notch that's similar to this one down here, but then also clamps pressure against it to really make this thing pretty dang stable. I mean, good grief, I'm putting quite a bit of weight on it. They say these things are only rated to 55 pounds. So far, it seems like it would take quite a bit more than that. Obviously, it's going to be a little different once we expand this guy out. Next thing we're going to want to do is release this clamp down here. That allows us to extend to the next portion, you know, just basically lifting up this telescoping head. Go ahead and clamp that guy back down. And again, a nice stable platform so far. So I went ahead and just picked this guy up off the floor just to kind of note a couple of really neat things that I see here on this particular base. Both of the caps are completely encapsulated by rubber ends, both on the top here as well as down here on the bottom. They are fitted really, really nice. Like I can't even slide that thing off. I think it would take some effort to get that guy off of it. These are an oval base tube, looks like about 2 by maybe 1.25, somewhere in that range. They do use nylocking nuts on the end of these so that these aren't going to come out on you. That's another nice plus. But they even go so far as to put these little rubber caps over each one of the little bolt heads here. I like that. That way you don't scratch something up if you're not paying attention, or even when it's folded up. The initial base, or the center portion of the base here, is also curved. It's not flat. It's actually designed to be in line with that angle we were just talking about on the telescoping rod. That is a nice plus. Right out of the gate, I like that a lot. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the actual bike head itself. Well, for starters, there is a nice little clamp here that you can obviously swivel this guy one way or another. That will allow you to, of course, swing this guy around if you want to rotate the bike here or whatnot. There's also even an adjustment on the back side of this. That was really kind of a neat plus for me. You can take this arm off, put a 5mm Allen head in there, and actually adjust the tightness of these teeth. I thought that was really nice, because that way down the road, when some of these teeth perhaps start to wear, obviously I can adjust it, make them a little bit tighter. This is also an aluminum piece across here on the head. Not only is the arm aperture here attached with aluminum, but this guy is too. And of course, if we take a magnet, we can see that little steel bit that's inside there. This is obviously just simply aluminum. It is not a steel piece. The other side of the teeth are this reinforced polymer, and it looks like it's a fiberglass injected polymer. I'm not real sure what they make this out of, but that was one of my points of concern as to whether or not anyone has ever broken one of these heads. Did a lot of research, looked around on the internet. I couldn't find anyone that's ever broken one of these, so that was really kind of a big plus. I thought, well, has anyone ever broken one of these? Obviously I want to make sure they haven't. If you look at the head itself, it does have a couple of neat things in here in terms of just some reinforcements. They did some really nice reinforcements all the way across here. That should hopefully last a lifetime. A couple of other neat things. This is actually a dual articulating head. That way this will self-center on the bike when you go to clamp it down. That's a big plus. I think that's an absolute must in most cases. Also have some nice rubber inserts in here. It does look like they're replaceable. They do have some circlips on here, but a couple of other neat things that they did as well. they went ahead and put a spring on here so that when you do go to clamp this guy down, you go to release it, it'll hold the clamp out of the way, easier to get bikes on and off. You can even tighten it down for whatever tension you want, whether it be tightened down, you can tighten it, or what have you. Really, it'll fit just about any crossbar tube or even seat post that I think I can possibly find. A couple of other neat things. You'll notice that this is attached all the way through with some additional 5mm hex head bolts. Nice heavy duty hardware on here, but what keeps this thing from spinning? What keeps this from spinning on that bolt itself? Well, if you flip this guy over, you can actually see exactly that. They went ahead and put a pin all the way through that aluminum, bar that comes through here, or post, if you will. That'll keep this guy from spinning. They did the same thing over here on this little, tooth mechanism. The nice thing I like about that is, well, that just simply means that that's replaceable. I could potentially pound that pin out if I ever have issues with it. Don't think I will, but if I did, I can come in there and actually, replace this particular head. They actually do make a heavy-duty version of this. It's literally twice the price. It includes this tooth set. This is the only real difference I could find. If someone else finds something, please let me know what else the difference is. From my research, all I could see that was different is they go and they put this piece in aluminum instead of this being reinforced polymer. So that's kind of a neat little thing, but needless to say, I think this is probably gonna last me a lifetime. Seems like it's a really good clamp. So far, so good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw a bike on here, guys. So a couple of quick notes. They do recommend centering the weight of the bike on the bike stand. I've gone ahead and raised this thing up as high as it can possibly go. I'm 5'9". This thing goes to 5'5"-ish, it looks like, somewhere around that range. But I did go ahead and put it at the angle of the crossbar here on the bike, because I want to just basically throw the bike on here level, see what we can do. So I'll go ahead and lift this guy up in here. My demo weight's roughly about 34 pounds or so. I do like to actually kind of step on the leg just to keep it from moving. Go ahead and clamp that guy down. You can even throw a twist or two into it just to make it a little bit more stable. But yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, if I sit here and kind of move this guy around, I don't hear anything popping or snapping or breaking. So yeah, I mean, I think this would work absolutely brilliantly for just about anybody that wants to have a portable bike stand. I mean, obviously outside of a professional scenario, I think this thing's great. I mean, even if we wanted to come in here and maybe even rotate it while she's in here, yeah, I mean, that's pretty darn cool. I mean, you can even stand the thing up vertical, do things like bleed the brakes or whatever it is that you want to do. But guys, that's my review of this bike stand. Honestly, I think all the other reviewers that I saw on this bike stand are exactly right. This is, by today's standards, the best bang for the buck. I think it was $109 on Amazon. It's a great deal. I think all the other reviewers that they did on this thing, I think they did a great job. And honestly, that's what ultimately made me decide to get this particular model. I like it. I think it's great. In fact, what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to take this guy out and use it to wash my bike. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to wash a bike.